think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not trust.
Yeah,
we could exhaust evening, but
yeah. So where do you guys stand on sink pissing? You ever peed in the sink there, Chris?
I've never peed in a sink. I've
What?
I didn't consider it until there's that national song. Can't remember which one, but there's a line. Yeah, I had weird memories of you pissing in the sink, I think.
Oh,
And,
wow. That's a beautiful line.
That sits with me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have never considered anyone doing that, but apparently it's a thing.
Yeah,
It is a thing.
it's like a regular life thing. This came up in our other one of our other group chats too, where it's if you're quite inebriated, the allure of pissing in the sink increases exponentially.
Yeah, or if you just like pissing in the sink, which some people. What
All right.
sparked this, Chris? What sparked this, Chris, is there's a subreddit devoted to sink pissing, and I read an article about it in Rolling Stone.
A whole subreddit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out tonight. For sure.
Well, I think in yours there James, the person pissing in the sink got caught by his wife or something.
Yeah,
And immediately defaulted to conservation as an excuse.
yeah, it's a whole
Genius.
Yeah.
That's
I
a good
love this
angle.
quote. I've had to find it. It's like, today my wife caught me peeing in the sink for the first time. The look of shock and disgust on her face was priceless. I fumbled for excuses, but really, I just like pissing in the sink. It's that simple.
What?
I feel like countertops are higher than toilets. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I just feel like that's
Yeah,
just
it
an
depends on.
awkward angle.
That's why I
How do you get up there?
surprised,
Yeah.
Chris, by
Yeah.
you saying that it's never occurred to you. It's not a thing because you're so tall. Clearly, out of the three of us,
I've been missing out.
you would be the premier sink pisser
Hmm.
if it were on your radar.
That's true.
Just based on height alone.
Yeah.
The
Well,
premier
you're just
sink
gonna turn a
pisser.
chapter for me. Who knows?
Well, if I was 6'3", man. Oh,
I know.
jeez.
I know. When you write your bio for your book there, Chris, I think we know how you're going to. I think we know what's going to be the final sentence.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Enthusiast.
Yeah.
I dabble. I don't know. You know what it is? It's just especially on a construction job, or in just sometimes you're in a basement. It just comes
That
up.
makes
I don't know.
sense. Yeah. If you're doing construction, all bets are off. Like I've heard horrible stories about people on construction sites.
I think we read like a 400-page book about that. Some people just take a cocaine-fueled shit sometimes.
Yes, that's right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. The cocaine flows.
Yeah.
It's not
Where? Go on.
Yeah. It's not the way to go anymore, though. You don't want to get that. You don't want to get that fentanyl.
No. Yeah. You just want. I'm just innocent. Sink peeing, not a problem. Like it's. Yeah.
Anyway, you're conserving water. That's it.
I tried that, and she didn't really.
Well, you tried to sell this?
Her response was pretty funny. It wasn't funny. It was just really kind of, oh yeah.
She's like, you're fucking with me, and I'm not gonna tolerate this.
She's feeling out whether you're actually gonna do it.
Yeah, and she's gonna be quite surprised to see.
Is this a passing whim? Should I activate oppositional defiance, or just kind of pass it off?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she.
Okay, listen, we're not peeing on the dishes, are we? That's inappropriate.
We're not savages here.
But a nice clean steel sink. It's a victimless crime.
Yeah, it's
Wash
not,
your hands after. It's nothing. It's like it never happened.
It's very hygienic, honestly, and it stopped. Honestly, I remember. Yeah. Anyway, this is a little. I remember the kids when the kid was, we had a potty for the kid, right? And you got the pee, and I poured it down the sink in the basement once,
Yeah.
and
Pour it
didn't go
anywhere.
well. No, it stunk. Like it caused
Oh!
a stink, and I was like, I don't know.
You gotta
these
follow
guys-
it up. You gotta clear the trap. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I know. I guess I ended up doing that later. So I think maybe now it's safe for pee, but I don't know. We'll have to find out. I'm not gonna tell you.
You might have
I'm
to
just
bleach that.
I'll just have a quiet satisfaction of knowing that I've conserved water and saved the earth. I'm like Greta, whatever her nose is.
Yeah. Thunberg. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, that's going to be my bio thing.
Yeah.
I consider
Well-
myself the Greta Thunberg of the Extinction Agenda.
That's thinking.
Yeah, like we don't normally include this stuff. Do you ever wonder about just pulling these conversations and just making like 3-minute like horror moments?
Just little blurbs. Oh,
Yeah,
we
best of reel.
don't know that we're not going to keep this. This is good. We can easily transition to Amalgam Comics from this.
This is basically the comic book version of sink pissing.
Yeah. I almost made the transition earlier, and we may as well make the transition now. Welcome to the Extinction Agenda, everybody. My name's James.
Yeah, so's mine.
Good.
My
there
name's
you
Chris.
go. Okay, smoother
What?
each time.
Chris is
Smoother.
the tallest.
Yeah. Right. So episode 200, man. I don't know. Like, it's actually not our 200th episode. There's already 200 episodes because we got the little side bits. But this is, since I started numbering them, this is the 200th. And so we thought that we'd do something a little special. We'd go back to tournament land, and sorry guys, I thought I picked a winner, and
You did in a way.
yeah, kind of. I'm a little embarrassed actually about this because these comics, like, by and large, for anyone who doesn't know what the Amalgam Comics are, they're like a crossover, an amalgamation, if you will, of Marvel and DC Comics in 1996 and 1997. There were 24 of them. 12 per round. Half were published by Marvel, half were published by DC. And they were like, it was a special event. Like, both of the publishers at the time didn't publish anything else for that 1 month, and just released these comics. I think that's how that worked, and it was kind of squidged in between a major company crossover that had like mail-in voting and stuff like that on, like, who would win against like Wonder Woman and Storm won, which makes no fucking sense.
It's all a
Anyway.
popularity contest.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? I mean, I love Storm just fine, but she can't beat Wonder Woman, nor can Wolverine beat Lobo. Like, that's fucking outrageous. Anyway, so this is from that time, and we thought that we would, or I thought, and I proposed it, and since you guys just let me get away with these things sometimes.
The good news is, if any fans of the podcast didn't know about this or like were interested in getting these, I imagine you could get them for about 6 cents a piece.
Yeah, easily if they're and they sold a lot, so there's going to be a bunch of them.
This is a big event, though, a big piece of comics history. I didn't know about it at all, or like notice it, but
Right.
Obviously this is it. And we've picked only the best, right?
Actually, I did.
Yeah.
I did a review just in the hour before recording. I was like, I wonder if I fucked up even in the selection, and like I found about 2 or 3 that probably should have been included in this, like for a good representation, but I don't know, it's too late now. And oh well. So 12 comics, 12 of some of the worst comics I've ever read. Going head to head. We're gonna have, it's gonna be, I don't know how brackets work, so it's ridiculous. We're gonna have like a 3-on-3, or not 3-on-3. We're gonna have a 3-way semifinal.
Oh.
And then ass to ass, and then we're gonna and then we'll have a proper final. And yeah, I don't know. General, do we want to talk like general responses to this, or let's just
Sure. I
we
got
can
just one thing I want to say.
Okay.
Gotta
One,
fix it.
yeah.
I got something to say.
Just the problem with these is that they're so overstuffed. Like it's rarely like here are two concepts to smash together and like here are some illuminating things that are revealed like about these characters. It's like just a bunch of shit in a blender. Also, what if Beast joined JLA and was horny all the time? Like that's the sort of concept we're dealing with here. So get ready.
That's a really good point. That like a chance for insight, it was completely missed. Like they're completely just straight up garbage.
They're phoned in, like for the most part.
Yeah. I know there's one of them that we should have read was Doctor Strange Fate. That's my bad. That had good art and kind of at least had very good art. There was 2 comics that we didn't end up looking at that had very good art, and I feel bad about that. And then 2 by Mark Waid and Dave Gibbons, but I just felt that we'd covered enough Mark Waid, and we're going to cover Dave Gibbons in the future. Like,
wait a second, there is a Mark Waid in here, isn't there?
There is. Oh yeah, and there's a Mark Waid.
Okay.
But I didn't want it to be. That was another reason I think I was like, I don't want a bunch of Mark Waid because I mean, anyway.
And not to dissuade it, like I think there actually are a couple of these that are semi interesting. So like, if you got one foot out, if you're like getting ready to backpedal out of this episode, like don't worry.
Oh no! This is gonna be This is gonna be a shitstorm. But shit in a blender.
All right. So ingredients in the shitstorm or shit blender number 1. We got Dark Claw Adventures versus Thorion and the New Gods. So let's. What was our rules here? We were gonna get like 1 veto each. That's cruel. We're gonna get some.
It's gonna mess up all the brackets, but should be good.
Yeah.
It'll be as fucking messy as this whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel strongly about all this too, so I'll be using mine for sure.
Excellent. And but until we use the veto, it is a game of persuasion to try to figure out which comic is the superior comic. So I guess Dark Claw Adventures, Ty Templeton and Rich. I don't know how to Burchett. I don't know. I've never actually had to say his last name.
Yeah, that sounds pretty spot on.
Yeah, good enough. What did we think about this one?
This was okay. I like Ty Templeton.
Mm-hmm.
Also Burchett here has that nice like cartoon Batman. I don't know if that's the 50s style sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this one was okay. I like it was stupid, but at least he tried to do something here. He made Logan different from Bruce Wayne, but like sort of incorporated the history. The Lady Deathstrike, fucking Ra's al Ghul daughter. I don't know about that move, but also Jubilee in the Robin suit works for me.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I
the design. Go on.
I was just gonna say I felt like I kind of like this one too. It's pretty fun. Like it doesn't try to do too much with it, and it's not super wordy. Like it's got this kind of fun energy to it.
Yeah, and it's it is the Batman animated series style. Like it is, and that's appreciated because the other Dark Claw one that we read, which we'll get to, like does not go down that route. So this is it was nice, and it's clean, and the dialogue's pretty good. Ty Templeton I've always really enjoyed him, and he was working on the animated series adaptations for the comics, and I was buying those. Him and Mark Millar were working on them at the same time, and it was kind of a weird, really good comic space. But
who is Ty Templeton for those who don't know, such as myself?
Right. Ty Templeton I don't really know his career extremely well, but he's a Canadian writer artist. I have an early comic of his in like Vortex Press, which is the place where Chester Brown came out of, like Ed the Happy Clown. So he's got he's got a little bit of a strange career, but for the most part, he does a lot of the superhero adaptation stuff, just for DC Comics, like specifically Batman the Animated Series adaptations. That's kind of where he largely sits, and I can't say I know much about the rest of his career though.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I saw him at a signing once. I didn't get his signature. I regret that because I think that guy he deserves some love.
Yeah, I think he's cool. Also, this is like a low tech comic. If you guys picked up on that, he does like a whatever. This is like almost like a there's only like old school like 1960s or 70s computers, swords, low tech equipment. It's almost like it's like a fucking old James Bond movie, you know?
Yeah.
A little fucking cowboy moment in the bar, kind of. I don't know. I like in terms of what you're gonna do. Ra's Apocalypse fucking didn't do.
Yeah.
You gotta always talk about the way that they blend the names, like, and they celebrate it in every issue as like a big reveal. Like I celebrate the dumbest fucking blended bad guy name is like that should be the fucking what wins the book.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think
they
this
had
through
a contest.
Yeah,
like internal competition.
I think so. Like they must have. Like they were. Like I can't imagine the writers' room. Like the brainstorming sessions where they would just. Like, they must have had a lot of fun. Like these comics are. I will say that these comics have an energy to them, which is meant to make you. Like it's meant to communicate fun, but I think what you said was right, Chris. Is just largely it just feels like a blending of. And I guess James, you said that too. You know, it's just like.
That's what a great.
yeah. But at least like this one kind of does it like on a lower key scale. Like it's not too much typically. Like I like the fact that there's I guess the Sentinels are like these cyborg ninjas. Just like the kind of snappy start to this of like him being in a poker match and these cyborgs come after him. He's just like, just my luck. Like I got the flush and they're like about to kill him.
Yeah.
Throws himself backwards. The action's pretty decent.
Yeah. And the ending actually works really well. Like she stabs him through the heart or whatever. And like, and he does it to teach her a moral lesson, which she learns. And, and then kind of like, the implication is that like he's won her over somehow, and I don't know, that's more of a heartfelt moment than this book really deserved, but good. Like this is actually kind of what you want in these Amalgam comics. You want a low key amalgamation, you want a little bit of the goofiness, and then you want it to have a point. Like you feel this universe makes sense. Like as each of them tries to create their own little space where you can imagine that there was actually a series prior to this,
and maybe something that you'd be interested in checking out again, even though they're never going to make the follow-up.
Yeah, exactly. And this one kind of falls within that camp, I think.
Yeah, I really like the fact that like in his like Wolverine cave, he's got the 5-cent piece, the Canadian like 5 cents.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
It's Beaver.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, geez.
What detail?
God, I feel that Thorian now is.
This is gonna be a hard book to beat in the brackets.
Thorian?
No, Dark Claw Adventure.
Oh, Dark Claw. Yeah. So, okay, this Thorian one is a merging of New Gods and Thor, where Thor and Orion are merged together. We got JR on art, and I think Keith Giffen is doing the writing. Keith Giffen and John Romita Jr. production. Yeah. What do we think about this one?
I kind of like this one. I like the art. I like the coloring.
The art was good.
Yeah, not too wordy. I wasn't expecting much, but there are moments that I was kind of pumped for, like the initial assault on by all these goblins and shit on Asgard or wherever they are. Like I don't know you gods at all, but Odin gets his like "you shall not pass" moment. Do you think to find Odin ill prepared on this day? Is Odin not called all wise? And he just fucks up all these dudes. It's pretty rad.
Behold the source. Yeah, the art on this is fucking wild. Like I didn't expect this. Like JR can pull it out, and I know he can do weird stuff, but like this is grand. This is cosmic stuff. Like really like this is like Sandman shit. Like
and there's one page where there's like it's like this like horde of like barbarians and shit like fighting, but there's also like these mounted like guys on cyber horses firing Uzis or like assault rifles at them. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the coloring's good and stuff like that. Yeah. This is an unfortunate pairing, in the sense that like I kind of don't want to see either of these ones not make it further into the contest. So that's that's my bad. But I will say like this one, although it is visually very interesting, like I don't think I read all the dialogue because I didn't need to.
Yeah.
And
the plot is nothing.
Yeah. And you literally didn't need to, because the art just like, I got it. I can tell what's happening here. But that's a testament to JR, you know, and like,
yeah, bondage cocoons. I get it.
Yeah.
What do you think, James?
Just pried that cocoon open with his little sword or his hammer thing. The Thor redesign costume for Thorian also was very cool. But that's because John Romita's doing his weird 80s thing that he does though too.
Well, like he's like he is a Jack Kirby man, you know, he's a Jack Kirby guy through and through. And this, you know, I think he was doing Thor with Dan Jurgens at this time. I might be wrong about that. So like he's in this space right now, and it's like you know, he's in that space that Walter Simonson was able to enter into. And it's here, like this space hand that just crushes Asgard. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it's very glorious in the way that it's like cosmic. But yeah, like I still don't this is probably the best art in all the Amalgam run for me.
Yeah.
But it like I don't know, I still like Dark Claw better.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like the best art, but maybe like just like one of the just meat and potatoes kind of stories, right? So
yeah, disappointing. So I think we're agreeing. Dark Claw goes forward on this.
Yeah.
No need for vetoes. Very good. Dark Claw goes forward for the threesome. What do we got next here? JLX.
Fuck.
Yes.
Versus Generation Hex. And all right, let me.
Because I was a little worried that we weren't gonna have stuff to make fun of, but holy shit, this one
Wrong.
This is Mark Waid too. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, Mark Waid's trash. I just want to, like, I'm going out of line now. Like, Mark Waid's trash. I've tried to, I've given him a fair shake. I've read some of his newer stuff. I've read some of his older stuff. He's not trash. I'd say he's competent. He's a slightly entertaining, competent, creative, or comics writer who sometimes can pull off a moment. But yeah, Chris, he's a hack. He's a fucking hack. And this book does not do him any favors. Oh, he's also worked with Gerard Jones, noted kid toucher or child pornography or child sexual abuse.
Jesus.
Yeah, we talked about him in Operation Galactic Storm for anyone who missed that conversation. He was arrested for child abuse photos. And I should use the proper sort of terminology for that. I went to jail, just got out during the pandemic, together with Mark Waid in what is like a really the sort of comics equivalent of kid touching. Like, this is terrible. It's
brutal.
It does not, like, I don't understand what's happening. I don't care what's happening. Like, I love how Howard Porter is an artist, but
I got a little what's happening here. You know what this reminds me of? Do you ever see that Teen Titans Go episode where they get all serious and they just like get those ridiculous like chiseled faces? Like, that is exactly what these characters
I love it.
look like.
I have seen that episode.
I haven't seen it.
Always grimacing and just like snarling, and It's so stupid.
It's just really funny where like Cyborg just turns up the heat and he's like, time to get serious about not having a body.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm depressed. And Robin, it's like, Robin, what are you doing? Brooding over my dead parents.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of that. And so the I guess the idea here is it's X-Men crossed over with JLA. And I think this is pre-Morrison. This has got to be pre-Morrison.
Oh yeah.
This is a mess too, but
yeah.
it's not like this one is not crossed over in any clear way that I can understand.
No, yeah, the whole like I get like it's like two teams and one of them is maybe the like Justice League. They just start off fighting for no reason, and then half of them are trying to find Atlantis, and then Sentinels show up, and that's it. It's all chaos. It doesn't make any. And then there's like this like ridiculous brooding romance between the Gambit and Rogue equivalent, where he has a body made of darkness. I guess he's part Nightcrawler, and she can touch him, but she's absorbing the evil, so she's getting more out of control. It's a lot.
Yeah, that is the only interesting part about it. And like she's kind of like she's becoming like a loose cannon. And she gets selfish, you're the only man I've been able to touch without draining him of his life force. Won't let you be taken from me now. Like she's trying to run away when the Sentinels show up, or no, they're underwater, and I guess the ship's
yeah,
cracking.
she's trying to book it and just let them all die underwater, which is great.
Yeah,
also.
Yeah. So I strongly disagree with you, because one interesting thing about this is that this Will Magnus character is clearly fucking his Sentinels. He's like he's so attached to this Jocasta, and like when she's destroyed, he's like cradling her head.
Yeah,
she has like a blow up doll Sentinel that he has like fucking sort of like creeping around with him. There's also that sweet moment right at the beginning when the Beast Boy Nightcrawler accidentally breaks Angel's back.
Yes.
You broke my back, God! And he just like basically drowns, and then instead of like reacting and helping him, he just sort of lets him go under the water, and fucking Captain Marvel has to try and save him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pointless. It adds really nothing except for additional chaos to an already chaotic moment. You just break a guy's back and just.
And his response is ridiculous. I think it's so indicative of how are we supposed to know that he broke his back? Like there's no indication in the art, like he's just, no one yells my back, you broke my back.
I've actually literally been in a situation where somebody yelled at. My friend kicked his brother in the back when we were kids, and he just like was walking, I'm paralyzed. But he was walking. He was fine. Yeah.
It was written by Mark Waid.
It happens.
Glad he's okay, but now we know it's a genuine reaction. You might
That's right.
Be wrong with that one, James.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark Waid. You're a fucking genius of verisimilitude. Yeah.
You broke my back, gurgle.
That homeless person gives me an idea. Fuck.
His fucking. Now I'm looking at that girl Sentinel. Looks like a big fucking walking dildo.
She's come to me, dear, my dear Jocasta. Help me celebrate the end. And he's putting his arms around her, and you're just like,
lovely Jocasta.
Oh, bro,
another joy in my life torn from me by them.
Yeah.
Are there like not so subtle implications that he's just like sexing all these robots that he makes?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just
that the X-Men, every time the X-Men kill one, they just ruin one of his fucking sexual encounters.
That is what his primary motivation, I think, and not just with the X-Men, his brother. My brother's always ruining my sex toys. I'm gonna. That's okay.
Well, who's this guy blended with that makes Magneto such a deviant here?
Well, okay, Will Magnus is. Oh, go on, Chris.
Isn't it like Bolivar Trask?
Yeah, probably Bolivar Trask and the creator of the Metal Men in the DC universe. So that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Although the Metal Men were, but the weird part is that there's a series called Magneto and the Metal Men, where it's more like the Metal Men comic book. And, so the weird thing about these comics is some of them like cross over with each other, and there is something of a continuity between them, which it's already a mess, guys. Like, stop it.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Yeah, you can't just keep adding to this. Like, nobody's gonna buy your stupid crossover.
Well, we did. No, well, we didn't.
Yeah,
we sure didn't. I didn't pay for
we
these.
investigated it.
We definitely. I don't think I bought them when I was a kid. How did we read these, James? Like,
I think
did
I
you get
bought
some of these.
these. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was either you or John Bell.
This is me.
Or maybe both you. Both you.
I'll take the fall for this.
Yeah.
I was really big on like hot off the press smut.
Yeah.
I
But
still
you got
am.
it.
Yeah. Well, you definitely got it.
You got it by the shovelful here.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then like so they find the secret of Atlantis, and one of them is basically like Bishop plus the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, that just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah. And he's a Skrull.
Yeah.
I think Martian Manhunter and Skrull make sense. But whatever.
Very well, Mariner. Are you ready for another mind probe? It won't be pleasant.
Unlike the other ones.
Jesus. Yeah, the writing is so bad in this.
Yeah. So how does it end? Like they're standing in a weird pose at the end. And so what have they discovered? Like what did they win here? I don't even remember. And
they beat up the guy's robot girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah. And that did happen. And then he fucked off with his bigger robots. Actually, his plans are there may be yet be life for our dear Jocasta, but there will be death for mutant kind.
He's still playing. Yeah, that's fucked.
What a genius. Oh man. I like, if it is the case that Mark Waid and Jared Jones are like, they're meaning to sell this to us, and I think they are. Bravo.
They're trying
to them.
so hard.
Yeah.
In a way, I'm sold. Like, I think if I got to have my wish of an issue number 2 of any of these, would probably maybe this that I would most want to see.
That's an
What
interesting
happened
question.
next? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which one by the end? Which one inspires us to
Apocalypso.
read some more?
Yeah.
Whether it's perverted or not, this has a I don't know. I have a
high soap opera melodrama.
Well, I just like it. What a shit show. I mean, what fucking ideas could they come up with if they were given a second issue?
Yeah. I think it's more fun.
Would we experience?
I think it's more fun to talk about than it is to read. Like I didn't.
That's true.
I like to look at it because, again, I like Howard Porter's, like, he's such a weird artist. He's so, like, for a guy that draws like this to get mainstream, it's like it's a Jack Kirby kind of throwback, but the panel arrangements make no sense. The action is almost incoherent. It's practically abstract.
It's very Liefeld almost in the way that the action is, but then there's also the X Patrol, which is a direct Liefeld ripoff artist. And it was but slightly better than Rob.
Yeah.
Which is usually the case when anyone rips off Rob Liefeld, that they're slightly better.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's another tournament, maybe like a tournament of the Liefeld clones.
Yeah,
I like that.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. And then anyway, sorry, Dan Panosian's on that list for sure. Poor old Dan. All right. So JLX has its secret pleasures, literally. And so Generation Hex. What did so this is a mixture of Generation X and Jonah Hex from the DC universe. This is Peter Milligan and what's this dude's name? Polina. Jose Polina? What is it? Adam Polina. And he was doing X-Force at the time. if I recollect. And yeah, what do we think about humanity's last stand?
I don't know. I don't want to be too hard on because I like Pete,
Yeah.
but this was fucking. I mean, I like that he tried to do something. He tried to give an origin story. No one else sort of went down that road. Tried to give a complete origin in book 1. Reminds me, it's almost as shitty as the Wolverine James origin.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's full. This one's very full. And it's, so I guess I'll say the good things. It's coherent. It's full. It's 2000 AD. You know, like it's a funny. It's setting up a joke. And not, I like a twist. To call it a twist at the end is maybe to give it too much credit, but it does set something up, and it does deliver in a 2000 AD or a eerie magazine sort of way. And so it's fairly well executed in that respect. Some of the turns of phrase in the dialogue are pretty good. Quite a few, because Peter Milligan is a good writer. But
here's to a malformed free West.
Yeah, well, it's not what I had in mind, but that's.
I don't care for this artist though.
Yeah, that's fair.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Polina being a whole lot better, but this is in some ways it's good because everything's rendered. Like there's you have a sense of environment, but there's something about the panel arrangements. It doesn't flow well.
It's like when you drag an image too, and like everything gets like kind of squished inwards. Like it's got this weird quality to the figures where. Like,
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, and
yeah.
I hope it's not because it got scanned badly, but it doesn't appear to have been scanned badly. So
no,
I'm looking at the first page, yeah, because you can see like the fold in the comic, right? So,
yes.
Yeah, you're right though. Like it does the figures, and it does. It's amateur. It feels amateur, even though it has a lot of promise.
Yeah,
like a lot of promise, but
I kind of like this one. Like I liked it. I think you're right. Like Peter Milligan actually showed up with an idea. He actually had some sense of how to amalgamate these different elements that he's using. Thank you. And he like it's coherent. Like it's an actual idea. I think the idea of mutants as outlaws that are kind of kicked out of this town of humanity is a fun little like genre take on the X-Men. So although it's not, the greatest story, I think I'm sure Peter Milligan was done with the idea. It's like, yeah, good enough. Like this will do for this paper hire work.
Yeah, good enough for Sudbury, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what this fucking is. Yeah, I do like the. This has absolutely no. This is Chris Piccialo's doing, but the design for Chamber is really cool. Like a guy whose like bottom face is fallen out, and he's just like this fucking furnace held together by skin. I always really like that. Like I don't like him as a character. I like him as a design. I just don't see how you can really get meaningful drama out of a character who has that sort of mutation. And maybe that's just because I'm racist against mutants, right? But yeah, that might just be it. No what are they called in this?
Malforms.
Malforms. Yeah, no malforms for me. It's like a Quebec town.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has the little twist at the end too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Dupes all the humans into being malforms, and the robots execute the whole town that wronged him as a child, sort of thing. Little grave visit at the end. Real nice front to back.
Gets real dark. Yeah. I like these kind of steampunk sentinels. Like that's kind of fun.
Yeah. What's really interesting is like we have nothing really bad to say about this, but none of us are enthused about it.
Yeah, I think that's true.
No, because the artwork's Seward.
Yeah, that's it. This could have been really, really good. I don't know who would have pulled it off better, but this
One of
guy's
these
not
other
suited
fucking
for it.
hacks would have been
Yeah.
better.
Imagine Howard Porter drawing this. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think anyone like it. This is hard to pull off. Like, you need a proper like Vertigo level artist, and I think that's another thing about this comic is it's a little it misses. It does not under. Well, it is. I don't know what Jonah Hex comics were like at this time, but given this type of event, it's a little too subdued. It ought to be bigger, like more bombastic, and something about it, like it's a joke comic, and maybe that's Peter Milligan realizing this is a fucking joke premise, and I might as well.
I think Ladron could have taken this for a ride.
Oh yeah, okay, well buckle that up. We got to talk about that dude. He sure did. Yeah, actually, no, you're right. I think you're right because he did the Sons of El Topo with Jodorowsky, and it looks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a prop. It was so good.
I want to read that.
Yeah, fucking right you do. It's so good. Anyway, this isn't. But the problem that we have before us, gentlemen, who wins?
Yeah, well, you have like probably the best written book of this whole run that we read against with the worst art against shockingly bad art with perverted concepts that were almost fun.
Yeah.
Yes. When you put it that way, I do like
I-
perverted concepts though.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
think honestly, like the amount of it was so much more fun to talk about JLX, even though like I can't even say I ever really read it. You know, like it just kind of streamed by me like a nothing. Whereas where Generation Hex, I like at the end of it, I had like a professional regard for it. But I think JLX is going to have to go forward, just because Paulina fucked it up so bad. Like it just looks awful. Like I would never recommend anyone read Generation X. I would also never recommend anyone read JLX. But if I was on a desert island and I had two books, I'd be like, you probably want this one. And
oh, is that how we're gonna get? There's so many different ways to look at this, but the desert island, I would take JLX all day.
yeah.
Just to give myself a weird sensation.
The next chapter.
Well, actually, you can imagine what came before. Like with Generation Hex, actually,
I can imagine a lot of things.
The problem with Generation Hex is I think another failure, like within the Amalgam conceit, is that it doesn't have a backstory and it doesn't have a future. It's not contained within a pretend web. You know, like see Lobo the Duck to destroy. You know, like
that's a great point. It's so self-contained. There's nothing expanding into. It's not going beyond its bounds at all.
Yeah. So JLX goes forward, much to the shame of humanity. All right, Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. For fuck's sakes, versus Iron Lantern.
These both sucked absolute shit. You know what? I'm just gonna say it right now. Iron Lantern sucked even fucking worse.
Well, we got your vote. Yeah, okay. You know what?
But if you want to let's get into it. But
yeah. Let's talk about it because I thought JLX would never win in a million years, and after conversation, I was like, it's the obvious winner. So let's go through this. Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. We got Chuck Dixon, Chuck the Man Dixon. We got Carrie, No Prisoners Nord.
I owned this, by the way.
Fucking right, man. This is I like the look of this comic a lot.
Yeah.
I think Gary Nord fucking kills it.
I agree with that.
In a really sick way, this is kind of my favorite, I have to say.
It's the most competent out of all of them.
I think Chuck was trying. I think Chuck was the only one trying.
Yeah. One thing, I hate to give this guy credit, but he always shows up. Like Chuck always shows up, whether you want to whether you want him to show up, he's there. You pay him money, he's going to give you the Chuck Dixon experience, and
you're going to get the treatment. With a 95% effort every time.
Yeah. You only occasionally you'll get the full 100, but well, because like being a full-time writer is a marathon, so he keeps a little energy, a little something in the back pocket.
This Bane so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so what are you dealing? So it's Bruce Wayne, Agent of Shield. So it's Batman plus Shield, and so it's Batman in like a James Bond kind of scenario, or a G.I. Joe, working with those Jim Steranko Shield things, like those old Captain America comics.
And he's kind of co-opted Shield for his own purposes too.
Yeah, he's bought.
Yeah,
he's bought Shield.
They kept his independent wealth, which is a funny angle.
Yeah, and he's all like again, this is to the praise of Gary Nord, but like his Bruce Wayne is so like, he's all clean cut. He's dressed like he's got the Shield uniform, and his head's always in the air. Like he just looks so arrogant and sort of driven, but also in the shadows all the time. You never quite see him properly. I don't know if there's an exception to that. I think generally speaking, actually, except for when he's flying through the air, but a lot of the time, like you get the sense that like he's just kind of shadowy in the way that you want Batman to be, I guess. But
is this canonical that Red Skull gets laid? Like, because he has a daughter, though it's Green Skull, obviously. But and his daughter is Selena Luthor.
Who's so hot.
She's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I'm glad we can all agree.
Like just wide-eyed lunatic villainy, like always.
Yeah. I love it. Like I love the Captain Cold and I love the Bane. I love the designs on everything. I just one thing that it suffers from is something that was going on in the 90s with coloring. Like there's not a lot of backgrounds. And the coloring is very red in a way that I remember comics being at that time. There was something happening, but like I would say that the character design's great, the action's great, but there's no backgrounds. There's generally like, except when he draws like that machine that's drilling to the center of the earth or something, like for the most part, there's a weak effort at the same time as there's a cool effort. Like I don't think this is early in Nord's career, and I don't know if he was fully formed yet. Maybe that's it. Or maybe he's rushing, or maybe he doesn't give a shit because it's a stupid project. But there's enough cool here to make it work. But
yeah.
Yeah, he renders enough backgrounds to let me know where I'm at without rendering too many backgrounds.
Yeah, without really rendering like any, like it's very manga in that respect. It seems to be like floating in nowhere.
I
don't need it when I'm looking at those fucking bodies that this guy draws. You don't really need a lot of background anyway.
It's true. Yeah, show up for the bodies. That's maybe that's the tagline for this. Just show up for the bodies. Sorry, Chris, you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just saying I didn't really notice, like, because there's like, I don't know, it's just like very busy. I guess you're right, exactly. Like, yeah, like there's dynamic posing. Like, who cares about background beyond that?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Selena Luthor, like just like page 2 choking out her dad, like with the noose's tongue sticking out. She's just stomping on his neck.
Yeah.
So good.
Everything you want to know about the characters is there, and with the Chuck Dixon comic, like really that's it. Like,
and with a Chuck Dixon comic, you got a sexy little like see hail from her after that. Hail Hydra. It's like,
oh yeah.
You do know what side you're on, right, Chuck?
Yeah, because his depiction of yeah, that's a good point. His depiction of Bruce Wayne in this is not favorable.
Oh no, his
parents got gunned down for being spies or whatever, and then so he buys up the spy agency and like obsessively uses it to. I guess he's hunting Nazis, so I guess, but I mean, like his tactics are not the tactics you want. I bought an entire state security apparatus in order to eradicate my enemies. Nobody's a good guy in this. I guess maybe is the point.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point. Except maybe like the Nightwing analog, or like the sort of people caught in the crossfire, the Tony Stark.
Oh, the Metron crossover? That's so weird. One thing, this is a stupid complaint about the Amalgam universe. Like, stay in your fucking lane. Like, we're about to read we're gonna read the Iron Lantern comic, and that's like an Iron Man Hal Jordan crossover. But like, so you got Tony Stark is covered. What, but this comic hints that like there's an Iron Man coming. Like, but we already got that. So
Yeah. We're all casualties in this war between Wayne and my father. You, me, Deathlike in his cybernetic suit, the wonderkind cripple Stark, the drug addict Nuke.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not addicted to it. I'm enhanced by it.
James, you must have been so excited when Batman gives this speech, like, I've heard of you, Nuke, some kind of drug addict. You type, don't scare me. Drugs are for the weak.
Fucking right. I was excited about that.
Yeah, this is fired up.
And we know that.
And then he gets his ass kicked.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Well, you mean like he gets beat up by Bane? Yeah.
Yeah, he was about to get absolutely mauled.
Yeah.
Shit luck and gave him a heart attack.
Well, he did it on purpose. I mean, it's
a lot
of
grotesquerie in this too. Like, a lot of bad guys died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My heart. Another case where someone's like, it's like your back being broken. Like, you got to say it out loud.
Deadshot got fucking gunned down by a jet.
Classic.
You're not coming back from that. And I like that Nightwing somehow dodged that. A little kind of did a shuck in the air. But,
and then we get at the end, if we're thinking about these like as successful sort of things that make you want to watch or read the next issue potentially, that's a good ending. Where like actually Green Skull's been manipulating the entire affair, and so the beginning he appears to not have been, and the end it's so I don't know. It kind of achieves its function. Like, I'd read issue 2 of this. I mean, I'm a sucker for Chuck Dixon, but I think this was I think the two of these guys working together and the basic concept, it's very appealing. It's easy to read, and yeah.
I like how Bruce smashes her into a computer, too.
Yeah, she gets fucked up.
He's not afraid to injure women. That is clear.
Yeah. It's occurred to me that there's something kind of sad about Batman if he is a killer, because, like, why haven't you done it yet? Like, you have every advantage. Like, if the Joker's always escaping, then that kind of makes, you know how to solve the problem. You're invincible, but, like, you just have this, like, this moral responsibility. But how have you not killed this Green Skull yet?
Because he's a Nazi, or like what's?
Yeah, well, he faked his own death too.
He does.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I see. You mean this particular version of Bruce Wayne who is willing to kill? Yeah. Okay.
Like, how can
he just killed like most of the bad guys on his way, so it's not like Bane's coming back.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so he just hasn't killed him yet.
Okay,
he's very devious. Who's riding with Nick Fury? I don't know if you guys caught that. Is that Sergeant Rock?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think it's
G.I. Joe. Look at the pipes on this guy.
Yeah, it's. I gotta call it up again. Yeah. It's
like who he co-pilots.
Oh my goodness,
around.
yeah. What's he fucking? Is he fixing? Like, what's he doing? Scratching his face, Nick?
He's probably smoking a cigar in the jet too. Fuck it.
Well, one of them is, yeah. Why not? Anyway, okay. Yeah, but they both should be. Everybody's smoking in this. I like that they're smoking in this. Yeah, that's that kind of escaped me for a second. All right, let's move on. Iron Lantern. This is taking longer than I thought it was going to take. This is going to be a big episode.
This one won't take long. Iron is trash.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we got Kurt Busiek. We got Paul Smith. Okay, I like Paul Smith's art.
Kurt Busiek is involved in this?
Yeah, he's the writer.
Yeah, he was writing Iron Man at the time, I think. Or, yeah, he was a Heroes Reborn
I like
Iron
the
Man
art
writer.
of this one. I do like the art.
Yeah, Paul Smith, I see a lot of, like, I see, maybe you guys aren't going to know, like, I see later Chris Samney, I see Polito. There's a range of comics artists that kind of flow from this style, and I never would have thought that Paul Smith was at the center of it, but I think this book looks really good in a classic way a lot of the time. The problem is that the words get in the way, and there's too many of them, and I don't want to read any of them. But I could look at this comic for a while. I know, James, you're saying no, but
Oh, it looks like shit. All the faces are all fucked. Looks like a fucking sixth grader drew it.
oh wow, I think
Eyes are
something's
all
missing.
different levels. Yeah, drawing skill.
Oh wow, I'm looking at some lady. She does look cross-eyed. I don't know, man. I think that's pretty harsh. I think a lot of this is really good. I think it's a little rushed in some points.
I think you guys are going off the cover in the first 4 pages, and then after that, it's an absolute circle around the edges of the bowl.
Yeah, I think page 8 or something. Yeah, it does start. It does fall apart at a certain point. I do agree.
Not a
I think for the
single background, not nothing.
Well, that's true.
Just a fucking giant shark man and a guy with a mustache whose eyes are drawn at different levels on his head. Every single image of him. I can't even do it. I can't. And then they got the guys all mad at Tony. The senator's being an ass. The senator's ginger wife turns into like a pervert robot thing. This is dumb. What even happened?
Yeah, that's what you're stuck with. Like, why is he fighting a shark in space? Like,
why'd the shark survive the rocket ship to space? It should have popped like a zit out there.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh no, the shark's going back down or something. And
where did the giant shark come from? Did she birthed it out of an Audi? I don't come on.
Difficult to say. No, she didn't. Yeah, where did the fucking shark come from? Like, it was in the basement or something. Yeah, this book's stupid. Like, I don't know what Kurt's going for in this. Kurt doesn't understand what fun is. Kurt doesn't, like, comics need to mean something. I don't know. Like, I will say, here, page 18, there's a nice parallelism between, but it's unfortunately, it's like, he's fighting a shark in space. He's punching. Then the guy, I guess, like Tony Stark's sidekick or whatever is getting punched, or he's punching some guys out. Kind of like that guy. But there's just a parallelism between the panels in the various fight scenes down below. I don't know. That's not bad. That's a good coordination. But I don't care about the conflict, any of the conflicts in this fucking comic. I kind of want to see that guy, that redhead guy, or the old guy that was beating up the redhead. I kind of want to see more of him. He was cool.
And you want to see more Mandrinestro?
Mandrinestro is a runner-up for
honestly, I do.
Moronic bad guy.
Yeah, I would have preferred a comic, and I think that's the problem with this, is that, like, Kurt didn't do it right. Like, do the Mandrinestro. Don't tease it. Just do it.
And I just realized that he has power rings on every finger. That's a problem.
Oh, that is a big deal. Yeah.
There's no beating the Mandrinestro.
Yeah, probably not. But we'll never know, because
he's even got thumb rings.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, he's just like a Doctor Who bad guy. Turned his date into a fucking Robo Man. That's awful.
Well,
I
was hoping that you guys would know why there was a shark in space, so I'm not saying anything.
Kurt,
you guys
and Kurt, it. What's Kurt? Kurt, there's no excuse for Kurt Busiek to be that bad.
I think he doesn't, given the sort of writer he is, that was the best you're going to get from the Amalgam. I think
he's just mad about it, probably. Anyway,
it's just not for him. It's not a project for him. He's not a zany sort of fella. Superhero comics mean too much to him to fuck around like that. He'll make jokes as long as he's also making some sort of like deeper social commentary message. But yeah, I think he was the wrong tool for the job here.
Well, Challengers of the Fantastic versus Speed Demon.
Yeah,
is the next one. But Bruce Wayne won handily, so we'll just move on with that.
Yeah.
But the Challengers of the Fantastic versus Speed Demon both lose. So we just fucking move on from that.
Okay, no. I want to say Challengers of the Fantastic is a much better comic than Speed Demon.
Sell me on this, because I like
Challengers of the Fantastic.
Yeah,
sure.
To me, this was just like impenetrable nerd shit, and like, I mean, like, I'm fine with that, but
Yeah.
I'm not invested enough in Fantastic Four and whatever else, like Brainiac, to know what's going on.
Okay,
here.
well let's put it aside for
Silver Racer.
Yeah, okay, so it's all classic Kirby references. Like it's all references to old Fantastic Four comics. Like some of the panels are straight up ripped from old Kirby comics. Like actually, a lot of them are. But that's not what the joy of this comic is for me. Like those are nice little Easter eggs and stuff. It's Challengers of the Unknown and the Fantastic Four, but like let's take it on a simple comics art form basis. Like this comic's extremely legible. The art's good. The story is zany. The images are wild. You don't really understand it, but like I don't want to understand it. Like I want it to be zany. I want it to be wild. I want it to be cosmic. All of our complaints.
The art's actually great.
Yeah.
I
Like
agree
this
with that
is.
too.
Yeah. Like and on that front, like I just kind of want to look at this.
Color is great.
Yeah. So in that basis, like just on that basis alone, it's a winner in comparison to like this design of Galactus and Brainiac. That looks great. That's wonderful, and the lettering's good. Like this might, maybe you don't like this comic, and that's fine. But as far as craft goes, like this is the superior comic. It's like by a country mile
That's
against
fair.
Speed Demon. Yeah.
But the questions that this seeks to answer is like, what if Sue Storm had short hair? What if Ben Grimm could change into a human? Like it's really failing on that level of bringing something
Well,
new
don't
to the table.
forget he's a senator. I don't know. He opens up. He's a senator in this. That's a bit of a change for him. And then like he's dealing with.
But to what end? Like it doesn't do anything. It doesn't have any impact on the story.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of it's a throwaway thing, but a lot of this stuff is throwaway. But you're right. It doesn't really factor into the story. And honestly, like I think this one definitely wins because the Johnny Storm character has a tiny clone miniature guy that hangs on his shoulder. This little, oh, this poor guy died in order to save the universe. It's like what the fuck.
I mean, you could tell me anything and it would be better than Speed Demon. So
I like the fridging in Speed Demon.
Oh my goodness, yeah, when Iris is like sucked dry into like this desiccated husk.
First of all, like who was bouncing at the wedding? You can't let those kind of hooded people into the fucking church.
So we should say we didn't say Carl Cassell and Tom Grummett did Challengers of the Fantastic. I think there's some other people, but Steve Demon's by Howard Mackey and James Felder, and then Salvador LaRocca and Al Milgram are on art. Anyway, go on.
LaRocca. I was going to say the only experience I have with the Challengers of the Unknown is Teen Titans again, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Nothing awaits us here but madness. That's from the movie, but
yeah. So
they're so stupid.
I get what else is up with Speed Demon. Is there anything going on here? Like I don't understand it. I don't understand the panels. It repels the eye.
Go ahead, James.
No, I was gonna say yeah. I mean, and the Spectre's back. He's some kind of pervert now. I don't know. I think he played a completely different role in one of the other books.
Oh, the Spectre? Yeah, that's another. Yeah, stay in your lane. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. A big problem is that it's so convoluted that even just try to start explaining it would just be like painful. Like every character shows up. Like why is the Green Goblin in here? Like why is they're all just stupid, like slightly different versions of themselves.
I like that the Green Goblin showed up almost as like a swerve, like. Generic Green Goblin showed up. What a swerve. Why is that happening? These are Amalgam Comics. You get kind of confused by it, and then at the end they like do the unmask reveal, and it's Two-Face. I'm like, oh, good one.
That's
guys.
right.
You got me. That was maybe one of the sweeter moments, but
yeah,
where it's like you swerve me by not swerving me.
Yeah, or swerving you in such a way that like. You still don't really care at the end. You're just like, okay. Good trick, guys. Great. Howard. Oh, fucking, I hate Howard Mackey too. Like, he's the hackiest hack that ever fucking hacked. I can't stand that fucking guy. I've never read anything from him and unfortunately, like he was doing Spider-Man for a good while at this time. And yeah. Anyway, I go on.
I feel like just to give people like a something to hold on to, like it's basically Ghost Rider with different versions of Ghost Rider, like the different phases, plus what's that demon's name? Etrigan? Is that?
Yeah, it's Etrigan and Flash.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's three concepts, which is, again, you're not doing it right, man. It's not hard. You just take two.
Yeah, exactly. Amalgamate them, fuse them somehow, and give us a coherent story.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, I know what to do." Like it's like he didn't understand the assignment. He just like he wrote an essay on a different topic, and you're like,
he's like, "Oh, I have to amalgamate all of DC and Marvel into one comic. I'll do it."
Well, here we go. Okay, I'll give him credit. He did do the rhyming. Your arrowed lackey to ash has been diminished, and now this race can finally be finished. Get ready for a lot of that shit.
Fuck.
I always wondered, like, if he can't think of a rhyme in the minute, is he fucked? Like, that's a lot of pressure.
Oh, that's his superpower. Like, he will think of a rhyme in the moment. If damnation
that is very right.
Strict, then let it be at least quick. Yeah, let at least this comic be quick. Fuck.
Oh man. Jeez. Okay, so Challenge of the Fantastic.
Yeah.
Challengers of the Fantastic for a clear win.
Yeah.
No, this next one's these last ones are gonna get me all mad. Okay.
X Patrol and Lobo the Duck.
Well, Lobo the Duck fucking belongs in a garbage can. Every copy of it seems.
That's
I like to buy it just to put it in a garbage can.
Wow, man, that's funny to me because I like it's a clear winner for me. Lobo the Duck.
I liked it too. I quite liked it.
Yeah, like it's funny. Like it's another thing. No, it's another case of okay. Yeah, we'll talk about Lobo the Duck first because obviously it's that makes sense. So who's writing this? Alan Grant?
Yeah.
And we've got art by Val Mayerick or something like that. And I think the art on this is very good. It's very cartoony. It does what it's supposed to do. And then Alan Grant takes another 2000 AD writer, approaching this, but it does a much better job than Peter Milligan does because you get the sense that you're in medias res and that there's stuff going on, like maybe too much, but this is a fun book.
They play with that idea of like the multiverse, like he's kind of shows up and like the world's destroyed and like all these heroes have died in the sort of like crossover event. He's just kind of making his way through. I like some of the writing is pretty fun here. The flames flicker where once people network, the rich men's towers are gone, as are the poor man's towers, though those guys were only relatively poor. They're still quite rich. Like, how many towers you got?
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun, and I don't know if it makes any sense, but like I think that's the problem is like it's maybe if they're criticism, it's maybe a little too wacky. But it is, there's Ambush Bug and Lobo the Duck is Donald, or not Donald Duck, fucking Howard the Duck and Lobo, obviously. And so like this is maybe another reason I like it is because it hews pretty closely to the Steve Gerber Howard the Duck the ideas. Like when that lady shows up with the concerns about the kidneys or whatever, like she was a character in Howard the Duck. And Howard the Duck's girlfriend showing up, Lobo, oh Beverleen, and like all the girls were just kissing him or whatever, and you're just like,
you rotten womanizing swine.
Yeah. Ruffle those feathers like you mean it, babe.
Yeah. You said you wanted me to have your ducklings. Yeah, all the stuff is there. You get your Lobo, you get your Howard the Duck. It's a great amalgam of the two concepts with good art. And like I don't blame anyone for not liking this book, but I think it's successful in what it's attempting to do, like in a way that some of the other things that we've seen aren't. Like it's Yeah.
I really like those two. The highlight was those two mechanic guys who are like, we're only
Right,
in this
yeah.
to die, and then the
Yeah.
bad guys burst in. Please don't shoot. I might have a wife and kids.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and it's very Steve Gerber in that sense. Like they're breaking the fourth wall. It's aware of the conventions. Yeah, I think I know you didn't like it, James, and that's fair. But
Mm-mm.
it is a thing.
But
Okay.
the only reason I didn't like it is because I did like X Patrol.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So what's going on here? We got Carl and Barbara Cassell. Carl Cassell's name is on too many of these books, as if like no one else wanted to do it, and he was like,
there's a high probability of that.
Yeah, my wife and I need money, and because Barbara writes one of them as well. I forget which one, but not in the ones that we covered. But and then Roger Cruz, who is a Liefeld ripoff, but also like Joe Madeira. Maybe he's more of a Madeira clone, Joe Mad clone. What do you think, James?
I don't know. He's taken a little bit of Silvestri.
He's got a little bit of that. Yeah, he's a real hodgepodge sort of fella. Yeah, I see it from
He's
moment
actually
to moment.
he's pretty handy though. Like in terms of like backgrounds and like faces and stuff. It's almost looks like an early image guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But he's an early image guy in 1996, so he shouldn't be an early image guy anymore. He's post them, and he's not there. Like if we're gonna say Polina is an amateur, Roger Cruz is an amateur. This sucks. This is terrible. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, okay, fine. He draws backgrounds. Yeah, what a great steel grated box room that he's in. Or, and here's when Cable shows up. Oh, nothing behind him. Like, I could do this over and over. Like, nothing's going on, dude. It just takes place in like some sort of like bunker, with some, yeah.
It's got some pretty cool heroic posing, though, I have to say.
It certainly does. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just the kink I'm into in this one. I don't know.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, but unless you exercise your veto, it's got to be Lobo the Duck, dude.
I think I want to exercise my veto though, just because I want
fair.
Lobo the Duck out.
All right. Is that so? You're officially Lobo's out?
I'm officially because of Giant Woman's great chest.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going ahead and pushing forward.
All right. There were plenty of great chests at Lobo the Duck, but okay. So this means, of course, this means war.
Vetoless going into the final brackets.
Spider-Boy team up versus Legends of Darkclaw. All right.
Oh God.
Yeah. Let's start with Legends of Darkclaw. Because fuck, where's my copy?
You got our
here?
boy Jim Ballant back.
Yeah, man. Well, he's not back. Well, he's back for us, but he's been this was the first one. This was from 1996, and the other one was from 1997. The other Dark Claw one. So this is what they went for first. Larry Hama and Jim Ballant.
This costume design. This costume design is ridiculous.
Wait,
it's
awesome.
busy. It's a little busy. It
looks like he's encased. It looks like he's like taking the like plates off a xenomorph and like attached him to Wolverine's costume. Put some tiger stripes on there. Like it's giving himself like the Batwing like fringe on his coming off his eyebrows. It's ridiculous.
What I love about this is that there's no gravity to anything. Like these people might be floating. They might as well be floating in space. Like their fight is nonsensical. Once you accept that that's the like basically how Jim Ballant draws action, you're like, okay, fine.
How about this Joker hyena creature with like just the grossest back hair?
Yeah, what's he supposed? I think he's supposed to be like he's like the Creeper plus the Joker plus Sabretooth. It's another situation where, or maybe he's just Joker plus Sabretooth. That makes sense. But the design is reminiscent of the Creeper. Yeah, and they fight. It's Wolverine versus Sabretooth essentially. Like I don't get it. I think this one fails for a lot of reasons. That's my opinion anyway. That it is just Wolverine versus Sabretooth. Like there's nothing of Bruce Wayne in this. There's nothing of Joker in this. Like it gestures towards those things, but I don't think it manages to truly amalgamate anything. It visually does, but that's about it. Like Huntress doesn't look like she's mixed with Carol Danvers. I don't see it.
Yeah, there's no reason for it.
Yeah, it's true. They kind of say it, but there's not any indication that there's any backstory or behavior that would lead you to believe that she is, or that the Joker's the Joker.
Yeah. His depiction of Sparrow, though, the Jubilee Robin one, this is prime Jim Ballant. Like,
yeah,
this is exactly what it. This is
moving forward. This is what I came for.
Yeah.
That's clearly actually like there's some enthusiasm behind the like, I don't know, there's some enthusiasm behind his art there. That's not anywhere else in the book.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he knew then what he knows now, which is that he's a fetish artist, and he can make a good career off that. Him and his wife make an excellent career off being fetish artists. It's not a accident or coincidence he ended up drawing Catwoman for as long as he drew. Like, that's exactly what she is, right?
It's not a crime either.
Nor is it a crime. It's certainly not. If it's a crime, lock me up. Yeah, and then Larry Hama doesn't do this much justice. I don't think he's not. This is kind of fun, but it's also not. It could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot more fun. I mean, Bill Clinton shows up, so that's a good time. But
yeah, I like that at least had like a plausible or like a threat that it built to. You know, the Joker attacking Air Force One and Darkclaw having to intervene, but it's also really stupid.
Yeah,
it's fucking bad. Yeah,
yeah.
The one detail I did like is that like when she breaks into Logan's room, like his closet is just all the suit. He has
right?
No clothes.
He doesn't need him.
No. Yeah, that's how she did those costumes. It's like, yeah.
Logan is Darkclaw. No shit.
Yeah, like, have you ever met Logan outside of being Darkclaw? Because he doesn't have any clothes to wear.
Yeah, it does not have anything else that he. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he does. Like, where's his suit? Where's his underwear, for that matter? You know, it's just like, and why would you keep it in your literal fucking closet?
Yeah, there's like no ridiculous security. Just like an apartment. It's a studio apartment.
And he's got
no one would fucking dare go into Logan's apartment.
Wow, that must be it. Like, it's the height of arrogance. Like, and I like the idea that he's this artist, techno wizard, painter, sportsman, and walking enigma. Like, there's something there that it didn't need to be mined excessively. Like, we get little hints of it, but like, I'm more interested in the hints than I am in anything else. I think there was a lot to work with here, and I don't think Larry was the man for the job. Like, Larry has a particular set of skills, right? And this isn't one of them. Or subtlety is not one of them. You know, nuance. Nope. From the writer of G.I. Joe, the most. Anyway, Spider-Man team up. Okay.
I thought this was kind of charming.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you are not singing the praises of this art, James.
Of what?
Of Ladron here in Spider-Man Team Up.
I was already.
You didn't. Okay, you're right. But you put JR above this, and I was surprised. For
Oh
that.
yeah, okay, sorry, yeah, I forgot about that. But JR had I don't know, that cosmic stuff is not easy to do, and is fairly weird and rare. So
It's yeah.
That's different than this. This was very good. Like the art and Spider-Boy team up was fantastic and very weird and kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah. I would love to see more of Ledron. Like he had a long run of Cable with Joe Casey. Like his comic art was out there for a while, but like his abilities were never matched properly. Like this guy does not draw Cable, right? This is up there with Quitely. This is up there with Mobius. Like this is or Jeff Darrow. Like there's a quality to this and a sharpness to or even a Frank Quitely. Like
Oh yeah, this is odd. This reminds me. I don't know. I feel like I brought it up a couple times already, but this is but usually only if I'm referring to Rip or somebody like there's not many people like this, but this guy was kind of like Rip in that sort of hard boiled way.
Yeah.
The way the art came through in that one with those little, you could look on the ground and read the booze bottle and laugh at like a cigarette butt location. It's so fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more I look at it, I'm kind of scanning through, like I'm catching details, and like it's really impressive.
Yeah.
Weird too.
It is weird. Having said all of that, like some of the panel, it is a little repulsive to the eye in that it's a little too full. And I know that's his style, and the colorist does a good job of separating things, but I like at a simple pencil and ink level, I don't know if this would be as attractive. Fortunately, they have a really good colorist that I'm not going to say saves it, but I feel that adds to it significantly. I think everybody was, and the writers on this is again Carl Cassell, but he's working with Roger Stern. It's amalgam between two writers here, R.K. Sternsill, and I'm glad for it because I think Roger Stern's got a good hand, and the loopiness of this comic. This is a fun comic with a fun premise. It's like Spider-Boy mixed with the Legion of Superheroes.
The Legion of Galactic Guardians 2099 fucking crap.
Yeah.
I can't stop looking straight into the eyes of Growing Boy.
Yeah. I love this like sort of like full page, like it's just like this ring of all these stupid heroes, like as he's kind of taking it in, like Dream Date. Yeah, that's kind of always stands out to me. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Made.
And so he goes on this thing like it's a time loop kind of story. It is a little. It's zany. Like I guess the problem is there's not much of a story here. It's just like it's a like a science fiction conceit. He's trapped in it's a funny kind of science fiction conceit that he's trapped in, and that also is a vehicle for making fun of the amalgam or just fucking around with like concepts within the amalgam universe.
And I guess Spider-Man 2099 was being published at this point. I guess poking fun of all these different takes on Spider-Man or like all these variants.
Probably, yeah. Well, 2099 was being published, but
yeah, because like the basic premise is he gets into a fight with Vulture, but is about to die. But like they these heroes pull him into the future. If he stays there, time's going to collapse. It does collapse, but heroes further into the future pull him and send it back, and it's just like it's just playing with that whole ridiculous situation.
Yeah. And then he learns things, but then at the end, he learns all the things that he needs in order to make this adventure, and that he has to do in the future in order to make this current adventure work. So it's sort of self-aware and kind of trippy, and it's suited to this idea and great for this art, and it clearly beats Legends of Dark Claw.
Yeah, I like how
it's true. Yeah.
There's that one little bit where they're like, the guy lets slip, but like, don't worry, Spidey, you don't got much future left, and they're just kind of like constantly fucking up the timeline. Yeah, it was good, much like infinitely better. It goes on.
Yeah.
No vetoes needed.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So now we got a problem. We've got Dark Claw Adventures versus JLX versus Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean,
honestly,
I feel like this is gonna, since we already like beat the comics to death, I feel like this piece kind of goes quickly.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless we have to make like a persuasive argument. But
Yeah, but I'm on Bruce Wayne for that bracket.
You are. I'm tempted to
Yeah.
burn it all down and say JLX and like just force it through.
I
this
want a
tournament.
real tournament, not this namby-pamby bullshit.
That's right.
I want to know who the real winner is. Jocasta!
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So fuck. Okay, Dark Claw. Let's think about it. Dark Claw Adventures was very. I like think back to our conversation about it. Like we really thought we really liked its smooth style. We liked that it had a beginning, and we liked that it, or at least that I liked that it had like a moral end that implied a future. Like it was a good execution of the amalgam concept. JLX had Jocasta. And Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. was another good amalgamation with like maybe it comes down to art or whatever, but I want to go Dark Claw Adventure as much as I like Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Whoa.
Yeah. I thought
split right in the
well,
the
what do you think?
uprights.
What do you think, James? I mean,
I don't know, man.
Decide.
You know, yeah, Chris, if Chris wants to go, you know.
Wait, what are you picking, Chris? Are you actually picking JLX?
I'm just saying, if Chris feels that good about Jocasta, I'm with him.
I'm thinking, do I want to veto one of them? I could.
I need to know where you stand, Chris.
I will. I think I'm gonna fall with Chuck Dixon, to be honest.
Okay, so we got to vote for Bruce Wayne, and we got to vote for Dark Claw Adventures, and so where do you stand, James?
I was on Bruce Wayne right from the get.
Okay, all right. So Bruce goes forward, and I'm not going to fight that because I'm not that connected to Bruce Dark Claw Adventures. Both of them are fucking able winners. Okay, so we got Bruce Wayne. This feels wrong. Bruce Wayne in the semifinals, in the finals. And we got Challengers of the Fantastic, X-Patrol, and Spider-Boy team up.
I'd go with Spider-Boy.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. Because like, yeah, I like Challengers, but so Spider-Boy versus Bruce Wayne, and I'm gonna say Spider.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I gotta say Spider-Boy too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Spider-Boy.
Well, you're out of a vetoes.
Oh no.
Yeah, I still think Bruce Wayne was pretty hot, but
yeah, well,
Spider-Boy was
Spider-Boy
was better. Spider-Boy toyed with what this was all about, like really fucking showed the multiverse, you know?
I think that's what it is. They both did, but Chuck just like chucked it up, you know?
Yeah, Chuck just gave me the beef.
Yeah. He gave you the 95% and the 5, so you really needed that extra 5%.
That's true, and I got the extra 5 on Spider-Boy. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, the best of the amalgams. I really do think it is, like, having done a review of all of them, like, that I'm disappointed that Lobo the Duck didn't go forward. Because
Lobo the Duck, for me, Lobo the Duck still had its place with multiple threesomes with green women. But like it wouldn't have beat Bruce Wayne or Spider-Boy team up anyway.
I think that's fair.
Or Jocasta.
Yeah, that's right.
Honestly, like third, running up third, JLX. We love it so. We love Jocasta so.
It's too fucked to not hold a special place.
Yeah.
It just embodies the 90s. I think that's, like in a way that I'm not sure if it's
that's
a
why
joke
I
or
fought
not.
so hard for X-Patrol. X-Patrol really showed me some things.
It sure did.
Yeah. I put it in the group chat for you guys, by the way.
Yeah, the reason that JLX, it's not that it's an embodiment of the 90s. Like it's prescient, like this is the JLX are fighting the forces of Silicon Valley's chatbot empire.
Oh
all
shit.
these fucking incels just like having sex with these chatbots. It just feels so.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Holy
of the
shit,
moment.
yeah.
Of
You're
the
right.
moment. Yeah. But still though, it sucks.
Yeah.
So,
Too bad you didn't make that argument before we closed the brackets.
I didn't feel I needed to. I think we
Yeah.
all understood what was happening. You know, I don't. I could have vetoed it any time. I could have, but anyway, all right. So Spider Boy, fantastic. Now you know, guys, and dolls. I don't think there's any women listening to this, and I wouldn't blame any of them. So yeah, I feel kind of like at the end of a war. Not that I've been through a lot of wars, but that calm afterwards, where the adrenaline's cooling and you can't, you just kind of just enjoy the landscape.
I know it well.
Yeah, I know that's the feeling of a warrior born, James.
Wow.
Yeah, feel like a warrior born now. Any final thoughts? Anything like that?
Oh, no.
Probably you don't need to read any of these, but it was fun to consider them.
Yeah, what a ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't read these.
Don't ever do it. Yeah, this was so unpleasant. I did not enjoy myself. Like, I was happy to find some of the little things that we talked about, but I was shocked at how like thoroughly bad these were.
Yeah.
And yeah, like only the comics that made like the semifinals or finals.
Yeah, and if you really
worth it.
want that much kink, just go check out what Jim Balance up to, or just buy some Gen 13. There's no need to go here.
Yeah, like that was another thing about this. Like you couldn't, you literally didn't need any of this because it just fed you more of what you were already buying.
Yeah, like Witchblade's out there. Yeah,
Well, if Witchblade is out there at this time, then yeah, this whole enterprise is just completely redundant. That's not fair. There's some stuff going on here. Anyway, next. Okay, so we already recorded our next episode. James and I are going to talk about Ninja Turtles. Sorry in advance for the audio. We had a problem, but we didn't know it was a problem while it was recording. And so things are a little unbalanced, but things will be more balanced in the future because we pride ourselves on our professionalism, don't we, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we 100%. Do not eat chocolate eggs while we record or chips.
No, eat them prior.
Yeah, get it done.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.